More insanity is on its way, my friends. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. And we're reaching sort of an interesting place right now, my friends. We're seeing all these stories coming up. It seems like people are reaching the boiling point in some cases. We're going to get into all these different stories. We have, of course, them saying there's going to be a massive stock market crash because Warren Buffett stepped down. We'll get into that. We're going to get into what's going on with this premier from Canada meeting with our president. We're going to get into also, oh my goodness, we got some crazy stories with Hollywood. We have here Mike Meyers, and you're not going to believe all the connections. I'm going to show you stuff that a lot of people have talked about, a few things, but I'm going to get into a bunch of stuff with regards to that. We have, of course, this continuing story of, it basically has to do with a lady saying some unpleasant, unsavory words to some kid. We'll get into that one as well. We're going to get into, and actually it's kind of interesting because it's on Piers Morgan, and some hilarious stuff happened there. We're going to get into, we have Pakistan being attacked by India. We got literally a million stories. I'm not joking. Okay, we even have underground, of course, cities. Let's just get into this. We have here, of course, first, Warren Buffett retiring from Berkshire Hathaway is probably the most obvious signal that we're about to enter a once-in-a-100-year market crash. Of course, this is this guy's opinion. A lot of people are saying, well, this isn't really what it means. He's older, he's retiring. But it is interesting. We've seen a number of people in the economic realm stepping down. Certain guy named Klaus, of course, he also stepped down. You remember that? And it makes you wonder what's next. Do they know something we don't know? Obviously, we have Rite Aid and a number of other stores closing all their locations. You have Rite Aid closing all their locations, over 1,000, due to bankruptcy. You have Forever 21 stores as well, set to close. And there's actually a lot of other ones. I don't even want to show you them all. There's so many. But obviously, this is sort of the remnants of the economy we saw the last 4 years, the momentum from it, continuing to go forward while we're trying to turn this Titanic around before it hits essentially the iceberg, right? But there is some positive news. We actually had some really good positive news. And I think that's what's causing all these crazy stories. We have here China is now finally going to meet with the U.S. over this trade war in Switzerland. They're going to be meeting and negotiating, obviously, tariffs and things of that nature. So this is some good news. We all called this. I mean, it is obvious, although it seemed like it wasn't very obvious. Apparently common sense is no longer obvious. A lot of people are like, no, it's going to be forever. Tariffs. Come on, dude. Seriously? Obviously, this was a move by our president to lower tariffs so we can sell product into other countries, which will be making a lot of money if we do that. The GDP is going to go through the roof over the next, probably not in the next year, but maybe the next, second, third, fourth year in. I think the GDP is going to go crazy up. And at the same time, these costs in our GOV are going to be going down because of all that Doge is doing. We have, of course, this meeting, which is hilarious with regards to Canada's new leader talking all tough like he's going to stand against our president, not going to put up with any garbage from him at all. Then to meet with our president and cower like a weak person. Check this out.
And now his nose is brown. This is the guy who said that the relationship between America and Canada is done forever.
The old relationship we had with the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperations, is over.
Absolutely pathetic. And it's funny because this entire time, as we've been following this back and forth between the two nations, we kept hearing from the Canadian side that
yeah, so that's Carney, the new leader, and apparently he was basically cowering to our president, complimenting him, telling him we're going to do everything that you want in his meeting with our president, which is hilarious. I knew he would do that. It's kind of funny. I've noticed that trend with Canada. They'll 1 minute they're talking like they're all tough. The very next minute, they're giving in to everything we say. It's kind of funny to watch these politicians pretend to be strong. We have, of course, also on top of that, Mike Meyers standing up for Canada here. And he, of course, is in another story as well. We'll get into in 1 second. But as you can see here on SNL, Saturday Night Live, Canada's not for sale.
My thanks to Tate McRae, Mike Myers.
You can see his shirt there. Canada's not for sale, of course. Interestingly, he's also in another story that just came out as well. The trial of Sean P. Diddy, the Didmeister, of course, begins. The jury questionnaire hints at Austin Powers actor Mike Myers, Michael B. Jordan being called as witnesses. Oh, maybe that's why. Kind of a weird situation there for, Austin Powers. Dr. Evil there, right? Also, he played both parts. He played Austin Powers as well. And then on top of that, oh my goodness, there's so many insane stories. This is also with the Didmeister here. Another story. We have here an ex, of course, Korn, we'll call it star, who shot, up our president's, resorts, claimed to be, I can't even say all these words. Just read it. Didmeister apparently paid him a bunch of money, claimed to be his, servant of some sort. Oh my goodness gracious, what the heck's going on? What is all these crazy stories? I don't even get it, man. We're not even barely getting started. There's like a million more. I mean, it's really crazy. We have mostly peaceful, of course, protests on campuses looking like they did back in the summer. What was that? 2021? When was that? The whole BLM thing. Fires everywhere is what I'm saying, basically. We got that going on. I don't even have an thing pulled up for that because I didn't want to. I had too many stories already. I mean, goodness gracious, you have here the tariffs cause economic problems in China, millions of jobs at risk. I've been talking about how things have been a little bit different there in China. We have cities, of course, emptying out. You had Beijing, Shanghai. I've shown clips of that, right? And now we have millions of people striking against companies there in China because they're not getting paid. Protests, of course. Furious workers demand pay. And honestly, we saw a lot of these strange things right before the tariffs even started. So it's kind of interesting. It makes you really wonder what's going on with China right now in their economy. All right. So, and like I said, we're going to get into a lot more. We have a ton. We're going to get into this whole story. You had the Carmelo, which was the first one. And then you had the lady, whatever her name was, Shiloh, I think. And that whole thing, which is going crazy right now. And we have a hilarious clip to play on that. We got a lot more. We have Christians debating on the most, like, stuff you've never seen before. I mean, things are changing. We'll get into all that and much more. And we actually have a lot of other stories as well. First, I'm going to mention, we have here the game we've been developing called Noah VR. It's also called Apocryphon Genesis. We've added 150 shares for you to get involved if you want to invest in the game. We've raised the bar and increased the percentage overall for those who get involved. You will get a portion of 33% of the profits when we release the game. We are quite far along with the game at this point, but we want to get a little bit more involvement from those who watch our videos. We also have a big company, I'm not going to say its name, that could be very much investing millions of dollars into the game as well. But if you're interested and you want to gain a portion of the profits when the game releases, link is in the description. It costs $400 to get a seat. There's 150 available. Link is in the description for that. Also, of course, food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. 3 months worth for $4.97. Lowest price we've ever had. Link for that also is in the description in this book here, The Lost Ways. My great-great-grandfather lived without electricity. Obviously, you're going to need these things before something happens. We just had India go after Pakistan out of nowhere. We're talking overnight. Like just another war. Wow. Just like popping up left and right now. Wise to get those things if you haven't already. Link is in the description. Also, my social media is linked below. I have a guy I hired that's going to be handling my Twitter soon here because I got so much work I do in the day. I just can't do everything. And so I'm going to have him actually being dedicated to running my X. If you're wanting to go over there soon, I'll be seeing actually a lot of tweets from me over there. Because I just don't have any energy after I do all my other stuff. I'm like, it's already like 10 p.m. at night. I'm done. You know what I mean? At any rate, so let's get back to the video. So we have here, academic loses his mind on Piers Morgan, daring white woman to say a certain word. This is interesting. This whole thing has just gotten more crazy.
This repeated use of the word, I think, first of all, I want to just register that as offensive. Particularly someone who doesn't identify as a member of that community and who is not, right? I think that's incredibly
I'm the definition of African American. I'm the definition of African American.
Of course, what happens here is this academic in the center says he's not African American. Literally, he's from Sudan, which is in Africa. His parents are from Sudan. He is an African American, period. Of course, the guy's like, well, you're not really an African American. You're like Elon Musk African American. You know what I mean? Like... Whatever, dude. That's literally the words. He's from Africa, North Africa, Sudan, and he's in America, and he was born in America. He's an African American, period. End of story. But of course, he's like, you're not one, right? So it's like this exclusionary stuff. Add in here. Let's play a little bit more.
And troublesome. And to as a Sudanese American or an outsider, who's using African American as a technical term, the same way that Elon Musk is an African American, I think it is a bit disingenuous. But the bigger issue here, I think, is that this idea of equating of one side to the other side often loses track of this issue of power. To use his example, when Black people stand up and say,
so then he goes and says, well, Black people can do this, but of course, white can't do that. Which I thought that was a little interesting. Seemed a little disingenuous to me. Of course. Myron there on the left, that's who this guy is here at Sudanese, is not agreeing with him on this stuff. And, of course, Piers Morgan dares, apparently it's all about this lady right here. She says she uses the N, of course, word. And, a lot of people are starting to talk about this topic a lot. And he dares her to say it. He's like, do it, just say it. Okay, check this out.
I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say
free,
it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
Go on,
free
say.
speech.
Go on, say the M word. Go on.
No.
Don't
invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here.
What in the world? That guy's freaking out over nothing. I mean, he's seriously freaking out over nothing because he was daring her to say it. She's not even saying it, and he's already freaking out. And you can see Myron is like kind of laughing, and you see also this commentator, Black Conservative Perspective, is laughing as well.
One on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jew.
Dude, what in the world's going on? He's freaking out over nothing, man. Like, seriously, she never even said anything. I don't know, man. It just seems very interesting. There's even this clip of Tony Robbins apparently back in the 80s saying that you shouldn't be triggered by words. You shouldn't let people have that power over you. And he's talking about how, taking back your own freedom, right? Taking back your own sovereignty. You don't need to be, remember we used to say when we were kids, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's essentially what he was saying. And Tony Robbins, and apparently they try to cancel him over it because he was trying to convince people they shouldn't get offended at words. And you know how things are, man. I mean, they've canceled cartoons from the 80s and stuff now. They've canceled pretty much everything. You can't even talk about anything anymore. It's just gotten that ridiculous. And now, but we're now seeing a lot of, like I said, we got all these crazy stories. You have also Andrew Wilson versus apostate prophet on the whole Israel, of course, topic. So you got now believers debating that, which is interesting. I actually follow, I used to follow these guys. Well, apostate prophet, I didn't even know he became a believer, apparently. He became a Christian now, I think a month ago. I didn't even know it, which is interesting because he used to be a Muslim, this guy on the left. And so it's just really strange seeing all these things all of a sudden out of nowhere happening. And here's the story I was referring to with regard to Pakistan going after, India going after Pakistan. As you can see here, overnight. This was last night. Okay. So it is true, but this, oh God, dude, this is so ridiculous. So apparently it's true, but this video is not from it. Okay. So it is true that they did do this last night, but that video is not from that. I don't know why they do that on X. People will like make a story, and then because they can't find a video, they'll just add some other video to kind of, make it look more dramatic or something. But then you have this going on in Ireland. Conor McGregor sharing shocking video where an Irish woman, of course, was threatened. And then you have apparently the Irish trying to stand up for who they are. You're not allowed to do that if you're this color, apparently. Check this out.
We're here to make a peaceful protest. Let's get it out there. Nationalism is not racism.
And fair play to every Irish man, Irish woman that's here to stand up for the Irish people. Because look, down the road there, boys, the 1916 boys, the men of Ireland died for the freedom of Ireland. And we're here today.
Yeah, man, 100%. And Irish people, honestly, remember back in the ancient times, the Celts, Rome, it took Rome, I think, 4 times trying to conquer the British Isles. That's how strong of fighters they were back in those days. Now, of course, those at the top are trying to turn, or have already successfully turned, Europe into a bunch of betas. I don't know. I don't know how you want to say it. Obviously, not everybody in Europe. I know I got Europe followers, and you guys aren't. Okay, you guys aren't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they want you to hate yourself. They want you to just think, oh, I'll go in my corner here and I'll just do my little thing. Don't worry. Like that's what they want you to be. They don't want you to stand, of course, up for anything at all. They want you to just take it. Own, of course, nothing. That's what they want for you. And on top of that, I mean, I'm going to cover these other stories, I think on my other channel. We have these other stories as well. We have, of course, an official that used to work under Bush claims that they built $21 trillion worth of underground, of course, cities. Obviously for not you and I, for the rich. I think we needed Doge back then. Maybe that would have helped. Obviously this was on, I think I covered this in a previous video. This was on the Tuckmeister's show. He interviewed her. Former housing official claims $21 trillion of our taxpayer money was used to build literal cities, 170 of them, under, of course, ground, with a big transportation network between them. I mean, this literally reminds me of scripture where it says that they hide themselves in the mountains. What's going on? Oh, we're hiding in the mountain. Because why are you doing something wrong there? You building that with our money? And you don't want us to go there, obviously, do you? Yeah, so you have that story as well. There's actually a lot of other stories I could get into, but anyway, I'm going to get into some more over my other channel. Kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.